police are not your friends, and they are certainly not here to protect you. They're here to protect somebody, but it certainly isn't the average American's interest. And that's actually been decided on at the Supreme Court level. Those pretty words, protect and serve, written on all other vehicles, and that motto that they like to say so proudly in front of everybody like they're actually doing something Americans agree with, protect and serve. They have no legal requirement to actually do that. They are there for the property rights of corporations, and there is no enforcement of anything that is there to help the average American that's actually struggling. I've been having a lot of conversations about what's going on in this country, and people are still in disbelief, saying it could never happen here. And then they ask me, how did 1930s Germany turn into the Nazis? We're seeing it in action right now. We're seeing it where they're progressively making more and more people become targeted groups. And it's not just illegal immigrants and people like that are getting scooped up. It's been happening for decades. The militarization of the police, the progressive disregard of the average American and their needs, and the consolidation of power upwards has been happening consistently for decades and decades. Now we're seeing open militarization of police against illegal immigrants, but those groups are going to radically change. Once they realize that the problems aren't fixed by removing the illegals, they're then going to go after the next problem group and the next problem group after that. So a lot of people think that they're safe from this stuff, and they're not understanding that this is exactly what happened in 1930s Germany. They still don't believe that what could happen in 1930s Germany could happen here. We're seeing it in action right now. So right now, the vilified group is illegals, but we're noticing that not only are they being lumped into places that really look a lot like concentration camps from the 1930s in Germany, but the problems are not getting fixed. We're noticing more and more problems by removing the problem people. So now that the economy is still going to be crashing, who's the next vilified group? That's the problem here. It doesn't stop with just the illegals. It stops when there's nobody left to fight the bullshit. And if you won't think they're coming for you eventually, you might want to change that tune before it becomes too late. While the book is still available, I would go ahead and read Harvey Silvergate's 3 Felonies a Day. This goes into exactly what I'm talking about. The federal codes combined with the local regulations are so complex that on average, each American citizen unknowingly commits multiple felonies every single day. And the code is written so that if they want to find something on you, they almost certainly can with every single American that they possibly investigate. We're seeing this in action, and if you go look up America's buddy, Jeffrey Bezos, we can see that guys like him in power, if they have enough money or cronies and friends inside the government, they can then weaponize that code against political opponents, business opponents, people that are saying things they don't like. This is happening right now. I'm a veteran, and I took an oath to uphold the Constitution and protect average Americans from bullshit like this happening. And it's time for us to start standing up. More and more of us are speaking our minds. And there's no legality problems with what we're saying, but they're finding any and every reason to lock us up, whether it's inside jails, detention centers, or just straight up no due process forms of holding. So Baker Acts, red flag laws, anything in order to put you in a cage to try and quell dissidents. That is already happening right now to people that would be considered the prototypical American man. Exactly what this country is designed for is how we are acting, and the police are locking us up in cages en masse. I know this personally because I've been dealing with it myself. One of my former clients that likes to consider me a friend, or did, and would always be talking my ear off about personal things and stuff like that, once they got word from their master and told to jump and go get me, they went ahead and just complied. They knew who I was. They've known me for over a year. They know how I operate, and they know who I am. They also know very clearly that my ex-wife likes to make up bullshit in order to get me in trouble. So what did they do? Did they go to the courts and try and figure out what the fucking deal was? Did they do anything, any due process? Nothing. They just showed up at my fucking door in an official capacity to investigate me as a credible threat. It's happening now. Your neighbors are going to be turned on by police officers whenever somebody decides that they are the problem. They're deciding that illegal immigrants and veterans are the problem now. Then it becomes certain criminals of people that they don't agree with, and other ethnic groups, I would imagine, is going to be next. But we can really do this very simply. Grind everything to a halt, stop the whole system, and then the power that they hold over you really doesn't exist. Don't let them pit you against your fellow Americans. There's so much divisive bullshit in the news and all other forms of media. They're trying to make us infight among ourselves. You don't have any issues with rural populations. They didn't cause these problems that you're dealing with. Let's keep our eyes on the prize and what will actually help Americans and recognize who is really fostering these problems. It's the corporations that have bought this country's government. It is the government officials that are complicit in everything that they request and actively disregarding their constituents' needs to pander to their little masters that pay their bills. And then it's going to be the police that enforces it and is the only reason why any of this shit is going on still. If the police weren't there to enforce this BS, we wouldn't be dealing with it any longer.